Imagine this. You're at a party, someone tells a joke and says, "Oh, it went viral on Instagram." And there's this one person in the corner who just smiles politely. No reaction, no recognition. You ask them, "Did you see it?" And they say, "Oh, I don't use social media." Silence. Everybody stares at them like they just said they live in a cave and hunt their own food. But here's the real question. Are they the weird ones? Or are we? Today, we're talking about the rare, almost mythical creatures of the modern world. People who don't use social media. Who are they? Why do they do it? And honestly, should we be jealous of them?
First of all, let's acknowledge these people are real. They walk among us. According to various studies, roughly 30 to 40% of adults globally either don't use social media or have quit it entirely. That's not a small number. That's like every third person you meet might not have an Instagram, a TikTok, or even a Facebook. And the funny thing is, they're not just old people sitting on rocking chairs confused by technology. No. Some of them are in their 20s. Some are professionals, artists, entrepreneurs. Some of them are more successful than the rest of us who are busy curating our aesthetic feeds. They made a choice, a deliberate, conscious choice. And that choice alone makes them fascinating.
Now, not all social media-free people are the same. There are actually different types. Type 1, the enlightened quitter. This person used to be on social media. They had accounts, they posted, they scrolled for hours at 2 a.m. like the rest of us. And then one day, something clicked. Maybe it was a documentary about data privacy. Maybe it was the 10th time they felt terrible after comparing their life to someone else's highlight reel. Whatever it was, they deleted everything, and they never looked back. They will tell you about it too. Oh, they will absolutely tell you about it. Type 2, the one who never started. These are the unicorns. They simply never made an account. They looked at social media, assessed the situation, and said, "No, thank you." You'll find a surprising number of these people in high-pressure fields. Doctors, researchers, writers. They guarded their attention before the rest of us even realized our attention was being stolen. Type 3, the secretly on it person. Okay, this one's a classic. They'll say, "Oh, I don't use social media." But what they mean is they don't post. They absolutely lurk. They're reading everything. They know everything. They just don't have a digital footprint. Honestly, genius move. All the information, none of the drama. So what does a day in the life of a social media-free person actually look like? Well, for starters, they wake up and they don't immediately reach for their phone. They just exist in silence with their thoughts, which honestly sounds either incredibly peaceful or absolutely terrifying, depending on who you are. They read books, actual physical books. They call their friends to catch up because they didn't already see everything through stories and posts. They show up to gatherings and genuinely don't know what's been happening in people's lives, so conversations actually have content. They also miss things. Yes, let's be honest. They miss event invitations shared only on Facebook. They miss trends. They're sometimes the last to know about news. There's a real cost to being off the grid. But here's what they gain: their time. Studies show the average person spends about 2.5 hours per day on social media. That's over 900 hours a year. That's 37 full days. People who don't use social media essentially get an extra month every single year. An entire month. What would you do with an extra month? Here's the part nobody wants to admit. When we meet someone who doesn't use social media, we feel a little threatened because their very existence asks us a question we don't want to answer. Is what I'm doing actually making me happy? We've normalized the scroll. We've normalized posting our meals, our moods, our milestones, all for an audience of people we half know. And when someone says, "I don't do that," it's like they're holding up a mirror. That's uncomfortable. So we react in one of two ways. We either think they're weird, or we secretly think they're better than us. There's rarely a middle ground. This is the big question, and the research honestly leans toward yes. Multiple studies from Harvard, from Oxford, from the University of Pennsylvania have found that reducing social media use is linked to lower rates of depression, anxiety, and loneliness. People who stepped away reported feeling more present, more focused, more connected to the people actually in their lives. But, and this is important, it's not social media itself that's the problem. It's how we use it. Passive scrolling, comparing, performing, those are the toxic patterns. Connection, creativity, community, those can be genuinely positive. People who don't use social media have simply found other ways to get those needs met.
So, at the end of the day, are people who don't use social media strange, backwards, missing out? Maybe a little, but maybe we're the ones missing out on silence, on presence, on the version of ourselves that exists without an audience. You don't have to delete everything tomorrow, but perhaps the next time you meet someone who says, "I don't use social media," instead of looking at them like they're from another planet, ask them what they do with all that time. The answer might surprise you. And hey, if you found this interesting, share it. On social media. The irony is not lost on me.